Right. Hey everyone, Klloo. So, very excited once. We have a box of the Hunted. Now, usually, I live pretty rural. Is that the word? Yeah. Country. I live in the country, so I have to order my boxes, and usually they don't get shipped until release, which is Friday here well, it's actually Saturday here in Australia, right? Friday for the US. So usually I don't get them till the week after the release of a set. But once a store is shipped early, so I'm curious if I need to look into it because I know LSS's policy is you can't, right? So I'm just lucky once, which is nice, right? But let's crack into our first box of the Hunted, right? See what we can pull and discuss the set a little bit because I know, box openings we kind of burn out fairly quickly, right? There's tons of people opening the set. So hopefully we can have a nice discussion about it and maybe pull something juicy. So Hunted to me is actually a very, 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 very impactful set, right? Because there's quite a lot of different things going on. One, we have proper dagger warrior support, right? So that's big in itself. We have sort of the cementing of stealth as Assassin's main gimmick over contract, right? So that's another interesting thing. We of course have chaos as a new interaction, although I wish they did a little bit more with chaos, right? I like when they fully flesh out a talent rather than, just little bits here and there. And, be interesting to see another run at maybe a bench mechanic similar to Shadow, but not quite like Shadow. But anyway, let's crack into the cards, right? And then I'll probably, of course, you have marking. You also have the new type, which may be a little bit controversial, depending on what exactly they do with it. But there's our first M in our first pack. How nice. We get an Ignite, right? Pretty nice card. 0 cost, -1. So you get the stat value back. I don't think it's too necessary. I think you can take a low-cost line. I'm still sort of on the fence on whether or not Cindra needs to be Draconic, right? Or you want to go everything else. I mean, the buff cards, you've got Spreading Flame, Uprising, and Rake of the Coals, which makes me want to sit in Draconic, right? And then you've got the Oath of Loyalty, the must play first, can only play Draconic cards, right? So, there's enough for me to go. Maybe I forego the main dagger stuff and we stick to Draconic. I'm not going to pull out the foils because we are definitely going to be opening a lot more. And, well, unless it's, an M or higher. Foils aren't that great, right? But, yeah, so back to what I was saying before we got the Ignite, right? Kiss of Death. Ooh. Our first weapon attack action card. Very, very interesting idea. But obviously, with daggers being reusable, thanks to the flick mechanic, becomes a bit questionable, right? Again, personally, I would love to see it done in Warrior, because I think it'd be kind of interesting to open. Now that's an M we want, right? Shelter from the Storm. We definitely want a full playset, but beautiful defensive card, right? So it's a 0 for 4, already fantastic. And then, of course, if need be, discard to prevent 3 lots of 1 damage. So, yeah, it's very versatile depending on the matchup you're in, right? So, Shelter from the Storm is definitely going to be the best generic Majestic in the set. Yeah. If Command and Conquer was a Majestic reprint, right? So it was, readily available in the Hunted, Shelter of the Storm would still be better, right? Monetary-wise. I'd think so. Because you then compete, with History Pack and that shutting it down. But, yes, back to the Kiss of Death. So, yeah, I'd like to see it done Warrior. So you could take, like Swords and still have some Act Energy cards or something like that, right? For some interesting payouts. Granted, they'd have to really, really think about pitching, which is, something we don't really see on the lesser rarities, right? The mentality that this is a late game card that I want to save. Actually, I think we pulled a Poison Blade, right? Because to me, the blue variant of Poison Blade is what stands out most, because the pressure that you can use in the late game, right, is a lot stronger to me than just taking a 1 for 3 with Go Again. That's maybe some upside, right? So I'd much rather take the blue, cycle it around, and then have this really punishing endgame turn where that pressure really, really amounts, right? So, yeah, similarly, weapon attack action cards can be done, but again, our first example is a flickable dagger where we can, double, triple, quadruple dip, right, if the right cards line up, on buffs, and that is scary, right? In Warrior, if it just here's a little bit more flexibility to where you stick your attack reactions, and then also, synergy with with just playing attack action cards along with weapons, I think that would go a lot better, right? But I wouldn't mind pulling a Kiss Death. No. Actually, Cold Foil Kiss Death, right? Is correct. Does it come in EA and Cold Foil? Man can hope. But yeah, so Assassin's very interesting. I feel it's in a weird spot though still. Right? Stealth is definitely getting stronger and stronger. God. What was the I saw a comment on the how to play videos that LSS are doing. And this is a perfect time because my camera is stuttering, right? It's my connection. It is not great in hot weather, unfortunately. But hopefully, no, there it goes again. We good? No, right. But yeah, so, God, what was I saying? Power stance in boil was actually nice, right? A step. So yeah, the comments on the how to play warrior video was better. No, on the how to play assassin was better warrior because again, you've got the weapon utility now that you have stealth weapons, kind of. Right, you have that interaction, and then you have the utility of lining up the attack action card. So it is what I would envision weapon attack action warrior to sort of be like, right? Again, you'd have to deviate it slightly, but right, I'm happy that assassin is getting to a solid point, right? It's kind of sad that we've had to go through quite a bit of experimentation and then just put it on the back burner, right? So contract with banish, and then contract with other effects. And now just stealth. Here's your buff synergies. Here's just your flat value, right? Because that's basically to me what the Hunted is as a set, is just flat value cards where, right, the stat points are, well, all on point. Ooh. We're hitting good M's, so cool, right? Cull. Why did I say cool? I know what it is. Cull, yeah. So fantastic Shadow Runeblade card, right? One to probably definitely hold on to for Monarch 3 whenever it bears its fangs, right? And depending what we get, right? But it is still a super strong card, right? Just yeah, so nice. Play from instant if you lost some life, or you want to disrupt your opponent's hand, get into your back zone, free block. It's just got everything going for it, right? All the expansion slot cards really do some nice things, and then we get an M like Anaphylactic Shock. Yeah, no. It should be a defense reaction card, right? Or it should have damage prevention, something like that, right? Each opposing hero that has dealt damage to you this turn loses 1 life, and you prevent the next, I don't know, make it minor 1 damage that they're gonna do, right? Just some sort of trade to work as a trap, because them losing 1 life, sure, I can foresee a game where that wins you it, but in truth, it's just I don't think it's worth taking. I think it's worth thinking about. Leapfrog gloves as our cold foil. Yeah. Sort of over cold foils at this point. Love them to death, right? But what, half of them are just the jank, not really going to be used equipment pieces. So I kind of wish that the draft sets, keep the rare set, keep the blade back in. We didn't get 8 pieces. I doubt we got 8 pieces of it. No. Right? Keep that, but get rid of the crappy stuff, right? I mean, I assume Danger Digits comes in a cold foil. No one wants Danger Digits in cold foil. No one will ever want Danger Digits in a cold foil. I think even in God, do you care about 1 flick even in Commoner? Maybe you do, but yeah, no. I kind of wish we cut out the crappy cold foils here, down the rarity. I don't need 1 a box. I don't need 1 a box if they're actually sought after. I mean, they've gone the other way as well. There's a lot more Majestics that are cold foils, and they're definitely nice. But yeah, just there's the 3 combos. So Assassin Ninja, Ninja Assassin, Ninja Warrior by way of the Arakni sets, right? Then there's the rare generic set. So that's 4 draft sets of armor, right? I thought it was heavy hitters where we got 3 or 2 was bad, but we got 4 draft sets, and then we also have 4 pieces, right? There's 4 random pieces that all have very bad effects compared to what's already been printed, right? You have the knockoff Snapdragon Scalers. Code of Allegiance is a knockoff String Blossom, right? They don't even have block. They have no upside whatsoever to them. If it was this effect, right, and Battle Worn 1, beautiful. But it's not. It is a horrible effect that is just there for draft. I do not want it in cold foil. No one wants it in cold foil, right? That is my honest opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree, right? So yeah, I'd like to see them just cut completely, right? Make cold foils an actual chase card, rather than, something that, 50-50, you're going to love to see it or you're going to hate to see it, right? Because that mentality is really diminishing. Because, you crack a box or you'd want to buy a box, right? A whole box because of cold foil. You want to buy a whole case because of legendary. And then to get the worst variants, right? Especially the cold foils, becomes a bit of a detriment, right? Takes its tolls and pushes more people to just go, the enjoyment I'm getting out of this is not quite as grand, so I'm gonna just buy the singles, right? They've done great with the legendaries. The legendaries that they've introduced in this set are fantastic. There's no real overlap. Everything has its use, and no matter what you pull, you're most likely going to enjoy it, right? So yeah, bring back cold foils as exciting, right? Again, I'm not saying the OG cold foils from the first few sets were great. It's just the fact that we didn't have much armor, much equipment. The equipment pools weren't as expansive as they are now, right? So they're a lot more exciting. Right, what other new mechanic do we have to talk about? We have, of course, Retrieve. Retrieve is very interesting. So, how many? There's 18 Retrieve cards printed, right? 3 actions, 3 attack actions. Plus the colors. Why did I say 3? 1 attack action, 1 action, each in, the variety of colors, and you can take well, we're playing Fang. That is fantastic. Adult too, right? Not the young variant. So yeah, Marvels. There's a 33% chance that you get a great one, right? Is it? Well, they've got adult Arakni, both variants. You have the 2 Fang and Cindra, so it's 4. Then you have the 4 young, not so great, and then you have 6 tokens. So 4 out of 14 are great, and I'm fine with fealty. I'm fine with what were the other ones revealed, right? But yeah, beautiful, awesome. Tuck him down there, right? So we'll go back to Retrieve. So yeah, Retrieve, you can take a bunch of it, you get a bunch of utility out daggers, and that is a big thing because, Ninja taking the daggers for the links, beautiful, right? Now taking the dagger for equivalent damage to the resource cost, even better. So, for instance, Fae, we have Searing Ember, which is a 2 for 3, right? Versus taking daggers, which would be a 2 for 2. Now that we can, readily use flick knives and try and recover it later, that's now a 2 for 3, right? So that is beautiful because it just increases the baseline damage and increases the base chain links, which as Fae you definitely care about. Now, whether or not you want to take both your cars, I don't know. I feel like the correct setup for Fae is 1 kunai. Well, it's actually the episode we can talk about it. Another M, a retrace the past, beautiful. Combo will hopefully be something one day. I think I kind of like this. That just was basically the same line, but not needing a gust wave. Even if it's just, if the previous attack is hit, then this gets the combo effect, and then it can link to another combo. Because we really, really have to open up combo and make it a lot more flexible, right? Fishing for 3 cards in a 60-card deck to line up, 9 cards even, 9 cards in a 60-card deck, it's not great odds, right? And then, go again being behind a lot of their effects is also problematic. But yeah, so for Fae, taking 1 kunai, because then you still have the equivalent chain links as Searing Ember. Recovering it, is fine. When you swing with it, you definitely flick it away because it's going to break anyway, right? And then hopefully you get your Retrieve in the next turn or so, and then you have Harmonized in the other hand, so you can still get that extra damage. It's tempting, but I need to figure out how consistent. Obviously, if you take all 18 copies of Retrieve, right, then 1 in 4, so you should get 1 every single turn. Whether or not the value is there, because you have to their baseline, right? So they're say 0 for 3 with Go Again, and then you're paying 1 for the Retrieve effect, right? So technically, you're losing value there because you have to pay 1, and a 1 would usually amount to it being a 4 with Go Again, right? You're getting the dagger back, and it's not like you can swing the dagger for free. You can flick it away for free and get the value straight away, I suppose. So you'd invest 1 extra resource to then get 2 extra damage, right? So it's a little bit of a drop-off, right? You're missing out on 1 point of damage going that way. But, yeah, depending on the chain links, it might definitely be worthwhile. Nothing. Fine. We have 4 packs to go, but I'm very satisfied with the first opening, right? Marvel Fang Adult, beautiful. Definitely want to play Fang and Cindra, although I must say, Dagger Warrior, I'm more interested in Dorinthia, even if she's not, fantastic. Just it seems fun, right? With the 3 swings a turn, being able to pressure gross amounts of damage, right? Really dip in on value on certain cards, like Unsung Determination being a 1+ with Dominate over 3 swings, right? Well, it'll be 2 swings with 1 dagger, so that's definitely better. Oath of Steel is, my favorite card for Warrior, right? At the moment, you then have Perforate as well as a fantastic new card. Yeah, I think Dagger Warrior is eating good, and I'm very curious to see how it plays with Dorinthia. Actually, I need to do a video on Draw because there's a few cards that we should definitely look at, right? And LSS might be thinking about getting rid of because they don't meet the current stats, right? Ratio of draw and everything we're getting currently, which is, a 1-for-1 draw mechanic. So it still extends your turn, but it doesn't become obscene. But you still have cards like, Whirling Mist Blossom can be a +1, Steelblade Supremacy can be a +1, Phase Phoenix Form can kind of be a +1, right? It's draw 3, you get 1 Phoenix Flame off of Phase ability, you then need 2 other cards against Phoenix Flame, so no, Phoenix Form is actually not a plus, right? But Whirling Mist Blossom can definitely be a plus. Because the requirement is, well, no, because if I use the same mentality as I just did for Fate, it's not plus. Cool. And another M to finish things off. Take Up the Mantle. Nice card, interesting effect. I do like the copy mechanics. So, yeah. I don't think there's anything super glorious to hit with it. I mean, Infiltrate is what comes to mind, right, if we're just fishing for value. But, God, that was actually a great box to start it off, right? A Marvel Fang, right? Oh, Kakuna should not be there. We hit how many expense slot cards? We got another Cold Core as well. Leapfrog, again, garbage. Yeah, so we got 2 expense slot cards. That's beautiful, right? Take Up the Mantle, Loyalty for Beyond the Grave, Apoplectic Shock. We'll put that one over there, right? Don't need to count it. Ignite and Shelter from the Storm. So yeah, all 4 of these are definitely playables, right? Even Ignite, depending on what you're pushing the resource into. I think your best bet for Ignite is to take Engulfing Flame Wave and try to hit with that. Maybe the yellow, so you can still pitch it away, because that would be your value turn. I think for Ninja, the big thing is Dagger Swing, Break the Chain, Dagger Swing, 0/0, right? Re-equip the daggers, and then finish off with another 1 cost. So primarily pitching a blue turn. And I feel like people are still taking, the defensive options. I feel like that's wrong. Because just Ninja has obscene base damage at this point. You should just be going complete aggro, I feel, right? And, if you get shut down, you can recoup. Because if your opponent tries not to block, right, they're probably dead in 4 to 5 rounds, right? They do block, then they're still gonna die because you're gonna maintain the advantage significantly, right? And if they shut down your turn, your Arsenal card, you do a little bit, and then you go back to just full tempo. And that 1 Arsenal card actually buys you, it's quite the meal ticket, right? An extra 3 damage to your turn that's already hitting, 16 to 18 damage is insane. But there we go, first hunted box, beautiful. Yeah,